Undiscovered Gems. I am Charles D. Smith, former NBA player and host, and we have a great segment for you today. Today we have Colleen Brindley. Colleen has, when I talk about experts in the industry, these are people who go through some things, they get an education, they work through situations that lead them to a certain purpose where they have an understanding beyond others. And we're going to talk to Colleen about that. She has a company, you can see it on the bottom, infinitehealingandhealth.com. She has a book that she has written, and the book is called Mastering Self. And we will talk about that as well. Colleen, welcome to the show.
Hi, pleasure, pleasure. Thank you so much for being here, having these conversations. Wonderful.
Colleen, let's start off by just getting an understanding of why you started this business.
Well, I believed I was very educated. I taught high school math, had 3 children. They were sick, they had anxiety, went back, got a counseling degree. Thought, okay, I'm ready to raise this family. And one thing after the next, I still didn't have the information, the tools to raise my family in a healthy, supportive environment. And for 20 years, they drove me to seek options, information. And it's an ongoing journey, health and wellness. And so my own children are healthy, they're breathing, they're independent, they're successful. And that comes from being open minded, from having choices. And that is why I created Infinite Healing and Wellness, because there's power in choice. Everyone needs to know they have choices to take care of themselves and their loved ones.
Yes, great. And as people from being infants and babies to teenagers to young adults to adults, we go through traumatic experience in our lives. And things remain dormant. Not everybody gets therapy for things that they go through. But these things can cause stress. They can cause issues that are just unresolved, and we can live with them. Um, Give us an example of maybe someone that you've worked with that was impacted by their self. It could be your daughter, it could be anyone, and how you discovered that they were living with this and how you helped them.
Well, we believe emotions drive great chemistry in the body. And not only do we have our own emotions and our experiences, but sometimes they build up. They build up. And if we don't cry and release them,
Right.
communicate, express, they start to clog up our systems. And so often, many of my clients come in great distress,
Mm.
feeling ashamed, feeling not good enough. Um, just not living a happy, productive life with love and purpose. And so each one is unique, but we have a process of releasing those emotions, getting them to understand that they have to empty the bucket. Earth is a place of lots of emotions, lots happening, stress, people,
Yes.
relationships. And it's all about perspective. So, what we do here is we really shift the perspective and help people understand that Earth, planet stress, is a place of emotions. And if each person has a process to release, process, they can then shift to
Sure.
greater health, greater wellness. And so we've had people addicted to cocaine, Adderall, not being able to wake up for a job, not able to love and stay committed in their relationships. So I actually train coaches, because who better to support you through that emotional journey than someone who lived it, who stepped into
Mm.
those shoes. So
Mm.
I train teams of coaches, whether it's addiction, whether it's eating disorders, whether it's relationships, whether it's raising children. And we guide people in this process of writing release letters.
Mm.
And they're your emotions. That's why it's called the powers from within. Your light is so bright. that worthiness, that
Right.
perfection, who you are. But unfortunately, we don't get to our purpose often because we feel less than, unworthy, not good enough. And so I've come to believe that through quieting the mind, taking a breath, we start to be able to process more and more. So here at Infinite Healing, I wanted a menu. I wanted people to be able to spend an afternoon, spend a morning. We have a Himalayan salt cave. Sit and breathe.
Mm.
Quiet your mind, release toxins, but you're also releasing emotions just by giving yourself time. When you give yourself time, you realize you're valuable. Oftentimes we give to others, we're
I like
busy.
that.
So time is precious. It's our, after money, it's very valuable. And so we insist people give themselves time, sit in an infrared sauna, sit and process, release, meet with a coach, move through those experiences because you're feeling them ongoing. So, hate, anger, sadness, worry. So, our goal is to process all of those emotions so that you can be present, be in the now, realize, have gratitude. Everything's okay. It really is okay. I had
Mm.
food today, shelter. I I'm breathing. And
Right.
we're really trying to support people in what feels better. You know, thinking about life like this or looking at life like that. And
Right.
so we have to move those emotions. And so my coaches, myself, we all work with populations to get individuals to love themselves. What does that look like? What does it mean if you love yourself?
Hmm.
And you'll love this. The first thing is exercise. We want
Hmm.
people to move, get people to move, walking, cardio, because that helps the emotions. It helps the detox. It helps us
Sure.
feel good, those endorphins. And as we get older, so many of us stopped moving.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we bring back the cardio, lubricates those joints. Breathe, get the oxygen to the brain. So we encourage movement, taking care of the temple of our soul, this physical being.
Right.
Then continue to quiet the mind. Games, puzzles, great conversations, a new podcast, some new information. Oh, I didn't know about essential oils. I didn't know about this advanced technology. What's going on? A purpose? What's a spirit? Right? Drives all of that.
Sure.
And then, of course, the emotions going back to I can't hold on to that anger for 30 years because I'm the only one that's going to have repercussions from that emotion. It has such a low
Mm.
density. I was here to love, I was here to
Right.
connect. And when I'm not doing that, ailments start to show up, symptoms start to show up. And so I really couldn't understand my daughter's journey. You know, she came in with skin, digestion, anxiety, all of these factors from birth.
Mm.
We used every doctor, not against any doctor. They're doing what they came to do. It didn't work. Hired all these energy healers, all this non conventional. Even that wasn't working. I couldn't figure it out. What is going on? How do we bring these worlds together? And for her, her body didn't actually detox that well. So instead of putting more in her body, which is what I was doing, more vitamins, nutritious food, elimination, everything worked temporarily. But
Sure.
then it was okay, how do I put all of these pieces together to make the complete puzzle, to make the picture complete? And that's what infinite healing is about. It's putting
Mm.
all those pieces together to understand purpose, love, equality, and that generates health.
Mm.
And
Well, I something you said previously, by spending time with yourself, you tell yourself you're valuable. That's so uh, profound in a way that when people do that, they are valuing themselves. They do step away. That's showing self-love, and that's very important.
yeah,
When someone knocks on your door, or they give you a call and an appointment is set, what can they expect when they first see you or sit down with you?
So usually we do a little consultation to see what's going on. We really try to get everyone to sit quiet.
Hmm.
I really don't want to waste people's time or money. My husband says, well, I don't know about your business model here, but I said, well, I want them to have a lifestyle. If they don't have to come back, that's a good thing. And I truly believe that. I'm really looking
Sure,
for people to have lifestyle, consistent practices to create
sure,
love in their lives. Cleaning your house, that's love. Do it with love. Don't do it with anger and resentment. Add love into your home, into your relationships. That's healing. Healing is seeing love in every person, seeing equality,
hmm,
seeing the beauty in the world. And that's not easy. That is not easy. When you look outside your window, there's a lot going on. And
right,
so we have to do a consultation to really see, what do we need to process? What do we need to detox? How do we get the mind to quiet down? And so I've had the opportunity to have some advanced technology. And so this technology, for example, I have a NASA scientist created a machine called a SKIO. And this is able to, it helped the astronauts come back to Earth and regulate their systems. And so sometimes this system will bring awareness to past traumas, to emotions that have been subconscious. And so this appointment allows us to gain information and start to
hmm,
balance the systems
sure,
that are creating havoc in their day-to-day lives, that pain, that anxiety, those phobias. And so we work then as a coaching process to release those and then start to create happiness. One of the hardest questions people have when I meet with them that they have difficulty answering is, what would you desire? What would make you happy? What would you like your life to be like? And
mm,
so when we start to break it down, and again, it's to feel good, to live, to run, to be active. And we don't want that to stop at any age. We want 70s, 80s, 90s. We
sure,
want the brain, the body to be in motion, to be moving, to be communicating. And so we're here after really getting to the root of wellness. And that means equality. That means coming together. We know emotions are contagious. And so, what we really want by creating a community is people of like minds to come together to enjoy life, experiences, conversations. So, not only do we have detox facilities here, coaching, but we have this advanced technology, but we also have gatherings, we have classes and sound baths and movement. So, we really want to take this model
hmm,
and expand it to incorporate a wellness model, a place where people come together to continue to heal on an ongoing basis, forever and ever, support to move through whatever's going on. So, we're not really talking about curing things, we're talking about healing, the process of moving through life with love and purpose. And that was my goal for my child, my children, my daughter that struggled for 20 years is now an acupuncturist.
oh wow, that's great,
Yeah.
that's great,
So taking this ancient wisdom
hmm,
and just remembering, bringing it back to be used alongside of all the modalities. So my goal is to bring all these worlds together and they can work together to complement and assist others in feeling better
hmm,
and being healthier, happier, but quality of lives. So not just
right,
longevity, but that quality. And that's what we've been after here. So we've been open 6 years and we've met teams and people, and these are starting to open across the US and in other places, not under Infinite Healing, but the similar model where I'll go support, coach, and people will have more access to these tools and support wherever they may live. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah, let's talk about the tools a little bit. You mentioned SCIO, and that's
Yes.
a acronym for Scientific Consciousness Interface System.
Yeah.
And um, when I first saw that, I actually was thinking that it was a process that you do, but it's a piece of equipment. Can you
Yes.
tell our audience a little bit about this piece of equipment and how it's utilized with a potential client?
Absolutely. So that tool was really what was needed to tip the scales for my daughter. Her body had 5 active viruses in it. The doctor found at 16, her system was always trying to play catch up. She had Lyme, Epstein Barr, HHV6,
Oh, wow.
Coxsackie, Mycoplasma, all active in her
Wow.
blood work. And I said, how? I mean, we've done years of nutrition, of exercise, of healthy things. How could this be? And they said, oh, if your immune system weakens, they show up. Oh, interesting. So with this, all they said was to pump up her immune system. But I had already done years of vitamins, I had done years of food. What's left? So we continued to seek. So when we came across the SCIO, a skew is fascinating. Like your ear interprets sound waves, this system, it's not hooked to the internet. It works on sound waves, but every part of your body. So how they explained it to me was you have a unique DNA. No one on earth has that same fingerprint.
Right.
But you also can call that your telephone number. And so no one would have your telephone number. So the scale calibrates and finds your code. And
Mm,
then every organ, every emotion, every chemical has a code. And the scale finds all the codes. If they're vibrating too fast or too slow, there can be symptoms. And so this teaches the body to speed up or slow down
mm,
so that the body's process of self healing can balance again to create homeostasis. But as we're exposed to toxins and viruses and emotions, things start to get wobbly. So this skill identifies, hopefully before there's symptoms, and starts to send waves to teach the body speed up or slow down. So that skill was able to see those viruses in my daughter's system and start to teach her body to excrete them, opening the
mm.
lymphatic system, getting them to move out and
That's
clear the
great.
larger field. So it works on this magnificent way to clear and balance all of these things that we've been exposed to. But now, like anything, we don't want one quick fix and think that's it, I'm healed. So lifestyle must be added, right? So as she exercises, she can excrete those toxins. She can
Mm,
quiet her mind through meditation, prayer, and gratitude. She can, release her emotions. And that allows a tool like a skio to last for a long time. But we all know we're going to have stress, we're going to have pathogens. So we may need something to boost our system and tell us to get going.
right, right. Is this SCIO, or is it applied with like taking an EKG nodes? Is it a node like an ultrasound? Is it hooked up to your brain? Physically, how do you apply it?
So we hook it up to your wrists and ankles.
Okay,
Yeah. And it calibrates, finds that code, and
good.
within 3 minutes, we have an evaluation as to what have been some chronic things. So it really helps with digestion, absorption, immune system, calming the mind down, all of those things that will let your body do what it knows how to do. It's quite miraculous.
Right.
Um, but
Eh,
over time, we don't have that movement. We're not getting things to move within our body. And so,
Right.
again, without lifestyle, even a skio isn't going to fix most things. And
Sure.
that's why we felt passionate about having other detox modalities to help people start excreting those toxins that they're exposed to, moving those emotions. And then these tools really work well on your natural process of self healing. But day to day, if you realize your worth, you take time, you find love in your life, there's no greater healing tool than connection and love. And so
Hmm.
that's a big part of our business. So the skio, yes, works on physical symptoms, it works on your larger energetic field, but it will also give you the vibration to enhance connecting with others, boosting
Right.
self worth, all those things so that you can go out into your life and live and connect and really recognize that we're all equal. There's no
Yeah.
superiors, there's no inferiors. We're after this. Your purpose is great. Um,
Right.
and that is the process of healing, is really getting to know that you're valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. You said something about relationships. I'm a firm believer that um, the most important currency we have as people is not our money. It's not our homes, cars, material things. It's really relationships. And we grow internally through relationships. Now, when you talk about it's inside of us,
Right,
the answers are inside of us. I
right,
think the earth gives us everything we need to be healthy. I believe what you say. And if we are sick, it's inside of us to heal. You just have to find a way to give your body the opportunity to do it.
right,
And where you come in, you help the body, mind, and soul find the way to
right,
heal. So, talk about that a little bit. How
right.
do you go about doing that?
Well, we always remember when we're a baby, that picture of a baby, perfection, came in with a purpose, came in truly a miracle. And somehow something happens. As we mature and grow up, we sometimes don't feel good enough,
Mm,
valuable enough. And the gifts and talents we came into this life aren't good enough. I want to be an artist. I want to be a basketball player. I want to do this or that. But really, the answers were there. Your gifts and talents were already programmed. You're supposed to be you.
right.
When you nurture that, your interests, your passions, but with self discipline, things take hard work. It's showing up. Sometimes people think, oh, it should be easier if I had that talent or a gift. But we really say, no, Earth is a place of hard work, dedication, self discipline, showing up. And the body is over 70% water. So your thoughts and words actually have a great effect on the body. So if we can just start the day knowing I'm beautiful, I'm valuable, that will start to create a very prosperous life, a very valuable, abundant life. And it will allow you to use your gifts and talents in your future, whatever that is. So, really, the process is you were born exactly the way you were supposed to. Your height, your body frame, your fine motor, gross
Hmm.
motor, all of that is a perfect package. But oftentimes, we don't realize that. We want to be something we're not.
Right.
Sometimes with hard work, you can be anything you want to be,
Hmm. Hmm.
but keep living, right?
Sure.
Keep growing and understanding that earth is this process, and relationships are great gifts. They really help us see the larger picture of the world. And that's my own children helped me grow after all that education. I was very uneducated. I didn't have
Right.
choices. I didn't have any, I was powerless. So
Yeah.
information is so valuable to communicate and share. And that's what this is about. This is about, I don't know the answers, but I'm going to help you see some choices you may not have seen before.
Right. And when I started the show and I said that you've gone through challenges, you've become an expert.
Yeah,
uh, it was your children, it was your daughter that drove you to fact-finding mission to get the information that you've needed,
yeah,
and you educated yourself along the way. Was that the kind of the tipping point for you to write the book, Mastering Self? Talk about your book a little bit.
Yeah, so I really wanted to understand this place we call Earth. I didn't understand that there was so much emotion. And so I met groups of people, and a big part of the skill is looking at emotions. And so, depending on how we process emotions, allows us to move forward in life or get stuck. So I really needed to understand Earth. And so, as I've met different people, my mentor who trained me in coaching, Elliot Eli Jackson, wrote some other books. And so I continued to educate myself. And I really started to summarize if the perspective and actions change, maybe from even how I was raised or brought up,
Hmm.
but it doesn't hurt you or anyone else. That perspective gave me peace of mind.
Sure.
And so the whole book is about, let's look at planet Earth. Let's look at new perspectives on life, death, talents, grief, all of it, and take some action. So the whole book is perspectives and actions to help you move through whatever's going on in your life. It's what most of my coaches use as their manual to support clients. And
Hmm.
so it's a journal like book where you can, hey, list 200 things you're grateful for. That will shift a perspective pretty quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And so with your book, when did you start it? Did you start it while you were in the process of still learning? Did you get to a certain point you said, you know what? I really need to share this information with the world, and you began to start then. So when did you start? How long did it take you? And where can people find it?
Yeah, well, I had started never thinking I would write. I was a math major. I taught high school math. So, writing wasn't my thing. Then I went into counseling, but I said I used to problem solve. Then I problem solved with life. But the writing thing wasn't something I thought I would ever do. And I had started teaching classes when I opened the center. And we would do perspective, stress relief, modalities,
Hmm.
information. And it really was helping each person remember who they are, remember their talents, their gifts. And I said, it went into a book in 4 days because it was an
Really?
accumulation of everything that I had been teaching over the years, all those processes and ways to process information, emotions. I just ended up putting it all together in 4 days. And it's on Amazon, Mastering Self. And it's a process of understanding spirituality, purpose, emotions, things that I didn't understand. I really didn't understand what's the spirit, what's a soul, what's purpose.
Mm.
I was raised, you get educated, you get a job, you retire. I should be on
Right.
the beach in Florida. That was
Right.
my mindset. And so this world opened my eyes to tools I had never heard about, the benefits of sound healing, essential oils, Reiki, things that, again, are less invasive than other treatments. So they can be added on with any treatment, whatever someone's going through. How wonderful for a mom, a child is sick, to be able to pull out tuning forks, use Reiki, use essential oils, all things that they can support their family with. And that was my goal as a
Right.
mom.
Okay.
The worst feeling is to not have any options.
Right.
And as a mom, I had absolutely none. I had medicine and nutrition, and I had actually given her so many vitamins thinking more was better. And
Right.
then they told me I had weakened her immune system. Her own body wasn't absorbing and creating what it needed.
Right. Well, Colleen, we're coming to a close, and this show has gone by so fast. Take 30 seconds to tell the audience what you want them to leave with.
You're beautiful. You're worthy. You're here to live with joy, happiness, and peace. Let's quiet our minds one day at a time. Check us out. We have virtual classes, we have information, we have modalities, we have tons of coaches, infinite healing and health. There's something there for everyone because you deserve wellness. And that's what we're on a mission for, infinite wellness.
Awesome. Awesome, Colleen. Thank you for being on the show. Uh, the show is called Undiscovered Gems, and you've given our audience many. So thank you for being on. It was wonderful to interview you, and I hope to see you again.
Thank you so much. Very
Thank you.
grateful.